In this video, I will share with you my answers to the most frequently asked questions that I get. The first one is, should you be tracking your sleep at night and wear a wearable technology on your wrist? Should you be taking sleeping tablets to be able to get into sleep at night? And how you can boost your energy levels during the day when you didn't sleep so well. The answers will come from the recently recorded interview for the Good Life Well Lived podcast, and I'm really looking forward to sharing those with you in this video.
Now, insomnia seems to be an increasing issue in our modern world. I have conversations all the time with people who struggle to sleep. Why do you think it's becoming such a big problem?
I think, first of all, the pace of life have changed, and there's no question about that. I think everything is moving faster than it did before, and I'm not sure we have fully got accustomed to it. The second one is technology. Technology is impacting our lives. It's creating different behaviors, different ways we're dealing with things. But it doesn't mean it has to be bad. It just means that it's impacting us. And the third element is nobody teaches anybody to sleep well. So if you think of sleep as a skill, which is what I believe in, nobody is saying in school, for example, this is the way you deal with certain things like that so that you can prepare for sleep. And I think as generations have changed, whereas maybe my parents, for example, were really structured, they put us to bed at 7 o'clock. I think the pace of life has impacted this rhythm that we have or used to have.
And so from that information, you can start to decipher, is this a diagnosable sleep problem, or is it a case that lifestyle issues are impacting on sleep?
Yes, absolutely. And also sometimes during the work, things come up that will, because if I've asked you to keep a sleep diary, for example, you will only be able to put down information that you think is relevant. And then because I work with people for a minimum of 3 months, so as we're going through the work, more and more things will come up that I can then spot, which is one of the reasons I don't do one-off sessions, because they don't give you the depth. Most people are not even aware of what's impacting their sleep. So spending an hour isn't going to give us the depth to really able to transform their sleep and help them to overcome and treat their insomnia naturally.
More and more of us have wearable technology where we can actually track our sleep. I'm just intrigued by your views on those. And the reason that I ask is that so often you see people posting on social media the image of their sleep pattern the night before and kind of being like, oh, no wonder I feel awful. I've only had an hour and 45 minutes deep sleep. But I'm not sure if that's necessarily that bad.
And I think this is the misconception about these things, is people don't understand what they see. So if you go to a sleep clinic, you have monitors all over yourself, literally. They you know what I mean? It's an intent. The data you get from a proper sleep study is much more than something that sits on your wrist. So even if you just common sense, if you think about it, how much data can your wrist give the technology to really truly understand how you slept? So for example, one of the things that I hear all the time is people who wear something like that is when they're resting and watching TV, the monitoring device or whatever they have thinks you're sleeping, but you're not. So how much is the data actually truly reflecting what's going on? Of course, it does give a basic monitoring data, but it's not the depth that people need to really understand what they need to do about it. And I think I again hear quite a few people saying, oh, I haven't had enough REM sleep, or I've been waking up a lot of the times. But the bottom line is how do you feel in the morning?
Now, one topic that I just want to touch on that is potentially a little bit controversial, sleeping tablets.
Yeah.
Are they a yay or a nay?
Okay, so if somebody sleeps 3 to 5 hours and they really finding it hard to get to sleep or stay asleep at night, it's a good bridging the gap between where they are and where they're going. You can't transform a really chronic insomnia overnight. It takes time. So I have no problems with my clients using it, but using it mindfully, using it by choice, not using it by default, not taking it whatever happens. It's building and developing what we just talked about, the behaviors, the routines, so that you have developed the skill, a better skill of sleeping, but using it when it's really needed rather than being on it forever.
Yeah.
And I have helped clients come off sleeping pills, and it's a process. You can't expect that to be done overnight. But equally, I think we can't ignore medicine. If that's going to give a person that bridge to go from not sleeping at night at all, and we all have to perform during the day, so then being able to perform during the day, then that's okay. But I think it's this longer term use that is being raised now. I mean, just in the UK, 2017, there was 12 million prescriptions written by GPs.
Wow. And I guess when you're working with people over a period of time, their insomnia is not going to be cured overnight. So what can they do to, I guess, boost their energy levels and keep their energy levels up so that they can be productive during the day?
So I think one of the vicious circles that we have seen, I have seen, and I have seen it in myself. When I'm tired, I'm more likely to crave different things. I'm more likely to say, oh, I'll just have that little piece of cake that's got sugar in it. Or I'll just have a big pasta dinner. Or, your body is craving it because it wants to create energy, because you need to perform. So I think a lot of the things that we do with the client work that I do is looking at how can you nourish your body better. So when I was insomniac, I used to be drinking coffee after coffee after coffee with 2 sugars and extra milk, and that gives you the boost, but it's a short-term one. Instead, looking at how can you actually truly nourish your body so that it can create the energy from good resources, healthier snacks. And I know this gets talked about all the time, but it's quite simple actually. Instead of having a coffee, look for something that you like, number one. And again, I think this is where some people go a little bit wrong, and I see it every day. They go from extremely healthy that they don't enjoy. Pick something you actually enjoy, but is actually nourishing your body as well. So, it's...
And when you jump to that extreme, you're less likely to keep it up.
Absolutely, because you don't enjoy it.
Yeah. And as you've said several times throughout, it's not just about looking at what happens when you go to bed. It's a whole lifestyle change.
Yes. And it's committing to yourself, really. And I think that's the underlying... Again, my work is much more than about sleep. So often when people start on the journey with improving their sleep, they need to put themselves really first.
Yeah.
It's this becomes a non-negotiable. I need my sleep and I am working on it. I allocate time for it and I will do it. I will want it because it's for me. It's for my better future. And I think this is where it goes really well with what you're talking about as well, is a good life well lived. It's how can we do that and have good sleep as well.
Yeah. And on that, so a good life well lived is the theme of this entire podcast and all of the work that I do. And for me, sleep is such an important part of that, because if I do not get a decent amount of sleep, I really struggle to cope the next day.